Right. All right. What's good, everybody? Just jumped on live. Sporadic. Spontaneous. Let's see. Can you guys hear me okay? Shide, can you hear me okay? Let me know that the volume's good. Scrawny. What's good, Scrawny? You always in the building first, homie. How you living? You influenced me to jump on today, man. I've been trying to knock these out. And today I thought, let me just jump on and say what's up to everybody. I know it's been a minute. How you been, Scrawny? Sean M in the building. What's good, Sean? How you living? The homie Carl's Customs. What's good, Carl? How you living, man? Oh, we got a lot of people on. Let's go. I miss you guys, man. Sound is good. Perfect. Alexander Yee, what's going on, homie? How you living? Hopefully everybody's good. I see that we got people on YouTube. Looks like we're good on YouTube. Today we're just doing a little bit of testing. I just want to make sure that we got the folks back on from Facebook, man. So if you guys are on Facebook and you guys could see us on live, man, say what's up. I just want to make sure we're good to go. The last, I think, like 2 or 3 streams, unfortunately, we haven't had Facebook on. There's some kind of a disconnect. And so today we're trying to figure out what happened. At the same time, I'm going to be painting some BLM kicks. I've got to knock these kicks out like ASAP. They're for somebody really important. So I thought, let me jump on as we test as well. Because, I mean, I've got to work anyways. You know what I mean? So, Sneaky Reeky, what's good, homie? How you living? Working. Trying to build up my IG following. Hey, Scrawny, I feel you on that, man. We're in the same boat there. Punky B in the building. Punky B is over on Twitch. What's good, homie? Yo, what's going on, everybody, he said. What's good, Punky? Glad to see you back on, man. Oh, no. I'm looking at you, Alexander, and I'm putting paint all over myself here. Thanks, man. This is my first day really starting to get into these kicks here, so I've got to move. I've got to make moves quick because I've got 2 pairs that I'm working on. Here's the... can I get you out? Yes, I can. See? Here's the second pair. So I've got 1, 2. I'm going to leave 1 to the side because at this point, since I'm working on 2 pairs of kicks and they're the exact same thing, I want to really try to knock out 1 pair and get it to be like 80%. So then that way I kind of have an idea how I did this pair, and then I'm going to replicate it with the second pair. What I did do, though, simultaneously, guys, I did jump on and put the stencil down. So where's my stencil at? See, I had a stencil here that I made earlier. And, man, this was just so many different steps that I had to do. So and as you guys could see, the stencil machine was not working with me. So this was a faulty stencil, cut out a bunch of pieces here. I couldn't use it. So I did get it successful enough to drop it on the shoes. So I've got it on both pairs of shoes. I just sprayed a little bit of black, you could see here, and white, okay? And then I peeled the stencil off, and here we are. We're right here, okay? Just for reference, if you guys look on the top right, which is right here, this is the artwork that I'm trying to complete. So at the end of the day, when I'm done, when the shoe is done, this needs to look like this. Okay, so now that you guys are a little caught up, let me show you guys how I took this image real quick. And again, if you're not familiar with Procreate, I use Procreate to make the stencil. Okay, so this was the actual image. What I did was I just went to this little layer section. You see the double paper here that gives you an opportunity to add another layer. So I added this second layer here. And let me show you what the second layer looks like. Let me just click on the check mark so now it's on there. They're both overlapping with each other. Let me take off the picture now. So I'm going to uncheck the picture. So I should take it off the screen. And now y'all see, oh dang, you guys I guess can't see, but this is what the picture looked like after I sat down and traced it with this Apple Pencil. Okay, so I know that was a lot to digest. It's just I had to skip over these steps. Otherwise, I'd be teaching forever, and we got to get these cakes done. All right, so so now you guys have an idea where I'm at. Let me say what's up to everybody, man. I'm glad to see people are back on real quick. Alexander Yu, thank you again for saying they look good. Facebook's working, sick. I love it. Customs by Kev's in the building. What's good, Customs by Kev? Over on YouTube. Hannon's back. What's good, Hannon? How you living? I believe Hannon's over in Europe, right? Also on YouTube. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Speed Infusion Facebook streams from the personal. I think we got to switch that up. I think there's a fee that we got to pay every month if we want to switch it over to the business account. So not a big deal. We can always switch it over to the business account. The Dye Lab's in the building. What's good, homie? Welcome back to the barbecue, homie. Lalo Tech, Patreon family in the building. Man, we got a lot of Patreon folks, man. So I got Lalo in the building, Patreon fam. The Dye Labs here, Patreon fam. Man, y'all moving too fast for me. Where's this mouse at, bro? Who else we got? Patreon fam, man. Welcome to Scrawny Johnny, man. I don't know if I welcomed you, bro. Welcome to the Patreon family, homie. I really appreciate you looking out for me, man. Supporting, obviously. Who else we got in the Patreon building, man? We got Sneaky Ricky, I know for sure. Sneaky. Okay, I think we're... Oh, and Carl's Customs, man. What's good, Carl's? So thank you guys. First and foremost... update on Patreon stuff, man. We are working on finishing up the Air Force Ones. So real quick, we're going to be breaking that up into 3 parts just because I want to make sure that when we do a tutorial, it's not like just cut and paste 5 minutes long. It's got to be enough where you guys digest the information and you guys understand how to do the whole custom without having any like questions. We didn't take any shortcuts or whatever. So it's going to be 3 videos. I believe Alex is finishing up today or tomorrow. So you guys will see a new video up probably tomorrow. Okay, so give me by tomorrow, which is Friday, or Saturday. Okay, worst case scenario, because we got to add titling, we got to add music. We want to make sure that even though it's a tutorial, that it's cut well, it's edited, you know what I mean? So that's going to be coming up real soon. So Scrawny Johnny, welcome, man. I appreciate you for being on. I think you're gonna get a lot out of this, Scrawny. I really feel like you will. Who else we got in the building? So I know I said what's up to Kev. Dye Lab, hop onto the YouTube stream. Why, is there something going on with the... Are we okay on Twitch? Everybody good on Twitch? Let me know. I want to make sure everybody's good. Can y'all hear me? You guys can see this okay? All right, I got to jump on too. I know. You guys are like, man, this guy talks for 40 minutes before he even gets on a paintbrush, right? Ah! All right, so that's probably a little bit easier for me to paint and a little bit easier for you guys to see, okay? So let me pull up the actual image. And whenever I'm painting, I always like to have the image next to me or close to me. So then that way, as I'm painting, I can really get an idea of how close I am to finishing the project up, okay? We've got hands, we've got eyes, we've got bandanas, we've got all kinds of stuff in this image. So even though it seems like it's an easy image, there's a lot of work to be put in, you know? There's layers that we got to do. So let's introduce the brushes that I've been working with. I've got my folks over at Princeton Brushes. I use the Select line. I haven't really used all. They got a ton of lines. The Select line, man, is key, man. It's such a great line to work with. And as you guys could see here, they got all kinds of different, different styles and tips and everything. So I need to set a link for you guys because a lot of you guys keep asking me like, where do you get the brushes from? So I'll set up a link for you guys soon. I mean, today we're just testing, so I didn't even think about, I'm going to be teaching or whatever. But let's jump into it, man. I gotta get this up and going. I've got the actual iPad right next to me here. So if you guys don't see it, it's right here, okay? Let me grab some brushes. I got to grab some black paint. Obviously, I got to grab a little bit of white paint. We got somebody who just joined already. Oh, Scrawny, what's good, man? Scrawny Johnny, man. I swear, bro. If support was, if we needed to look up support in the dictionary, dog, you'd be cheesing like, that's me. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for subscribing, man. I really do. All right, man. So let's see. I got white. I've got black. I got to get some light gray. The light gray is actually in the BLM sign. So what I like to do, you know, if I'm working with a bunch of different paints here, I'll always lay like similar colors right next to each other. Side note, if I'm biting my own lip today, it's because I came from the dentist, so half my mouth is still recovering here. I think that should be enough. Y'all see how chunky that is? So that's like a clear indicator to me. I might have to add a little bit of too thin just to water it down a little bit. Your paint should never be super chunky, you know? All right, so let's wrap that one up. What else I need? I need some red. So I'll just grab a little bit of fire red. And today I'm working with Angela's paints. Next stream, I'm thinking about working with a different brand here called Alpha 6 Corporation. And so we can get an idea of how those guys are. It's my first time working with that paint. And then last thing, man, I'm hoping, and I'm almost positive they have this brush. But Princeton, the reason why I love Princeton brushes so much is this one particular brush, man. The 12-0. I want to make sure I give you guys a good look at that. 12-0. And it is an angular shader. Yo, this brush right here is like, I've tried to keep it clean. It's been years. I've had this brush for years. And I love it so much just because I don't know, it's just very comfortable on the hand. It's fun to detail with. So I'm going to start with this because we got a lot of detailing to do. So let's just dip a little bit of red on here. I'm going to start with the dude's, he's got a little bandana on here. So let's see if I could try to knock it out without trying to do the white inside of the bandana here. It's just like a small triangle in the bottom section there. And then the other part is also red, but just missing a little point around it. I try to get it. If it didn't work, you know, we could always touch it up with the white a little bit. So it's the good thing about paint, right? You can always just, it's almost like white out. I made a mistake. You could just paint over it. It's not as stressful as a lot of people think. I know a lot of you guys are probably, when you paint your lines, are still holding your breath, right? How many of you guys are out there holding your breath when you paint? I can't mess up, right? Eventually you get to this point where you're just like, whatever, I messed up. I'll just add a little bit of paint on top of it and nobody will know. Alright, so this looks like it's a heart. The bottom of a heart, at least. And this is why I like the little 12-0. It's just so small and narrow. You can really get precision out of it. Okay, and now we've got some lettering to do here. So homeboy's hand is there. So I'm going to say this L looks like it's about right here. And it says love, it looks like. Oh, Black Lives. So it says Black Lives. Okay, cool. So I've got to go up to about right there. And I'm just very slowly coming down with the red, trying to get as accurate as possible. Again, if I need to touch it up at the end, it's not a big deal. We'll just grab a little bit of white. And we can touch it up. Alright. Let's see here. I got a little bit of... So it looks like I'm going to have to paint this sign out. But I'm looking at the eye. There's just a very Just a minor touch of red right there. And there's a very minor touch of red about right here. So not a lot of red in here, which is cool. There we go. So let's let that dry. And now I've got to fill in some of the other signs here before I really get into the gist of the picture here. So let's add now. I just wiped down the brush here, okay? So starting off fresh. I got the black. And right here it's missing a B in BLM. So again, I'm just like looking at the picture, trying to see like really where's that B start at. So about right there. And it's just gonna keep, you know, just like the standard B would, going all the way up. Oh, it looks like I got this one off a little bit. That's okay. Just try to catch it up here. So, yo, Speed Infusion, thank you, man. You know, I appreciate. How come you have not subscribed earlier? I see. I was about to thank you. You need to have subscribed in the beginning, bro. All right, so it looks like the B is going to be about right there. And again, guys, I'm just guesstimating it here. And even if I'm doing it a little bit thicker than the actual lettering is, that's okay because we're going to go back in with the white and we can always fix it. Alright, so this is the B about right there. Cool. Alright, and it looks like there's the fist here, so I'm going to start to paint that in. I didn't get a chance to get the whole fist in because it cut off on the picture, so because of that I'm going to just fill it in myself. Just freehand it real quick. But at least we can get this little section here. So this is just the BLM fist. You gotta really like black, man. You just one layer and it usually covers the whole thing up, so. Alright. And just riding up here. Guys, sorry, I know I haven't checked the chat because I'm just trying to get a head start on this. Because like usual, I'm a chatty Cathy in the beginning. Alright, so I think we're going to be about there with that fist. And I got to detail the fist out later. But at least we can get an idea of where it should be at. When you're going over panels, you got to be real slow with it because there's a transition on the fist, right? And you want the fist to look nice and smooth when the transition hits. There we go. Cool. So that's good. It's hot in here today. All right. David C. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, homie. David C's over on YouTube, guys. Let's see what else. Who else we got in the build, man? We got so many people here, man. Thanks for joining, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Customs by Kev. Tell Dilab to hop on YouTube stream. Okay. Does it make a difference, Scrawny, if he hops on YouTube versus Twitch? Okay, cool. Twitch and Facebook are working. That's great to know. Hey, Flight School's in the building, man. What's good, Ryan? How are you, man? Patreon fam in the building. How's the baby, man? Okay, cool. Oh, okay, got it. Your screen froze, Dilab. So I guess some people have issues on Twitch. I'm not exactly sure why. But just a heads up, guys, we use a program, I think it's called Restream. And on Restream, it seems like sometimes there's an issue here and again. So if for some reason you guys are like freezing on one, you can always go to the YouTube channel. It seems to be like the most consistent out of the group. Alright guys, so here I'm going to just use this Micron Pigma Pen. I like to use this. A lot of comic book artists also use these Pigmas because they can ink in the characters. So that's what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get some clarity on the signs. This one doesn't seem like it has a lot of ink left, so let me see if I can grab another one. Really want to try to decipher all the signs. It'll make life a lot easier when I'm painting. So y'all notice that when I'm working, I'll paint one thing, and as that thing is drying, then I'll jump on another part of the shoe that's kind of untouched. And so that way, like, you keep a consistent flow of work. And that's a good thing. You know, you get a lot done faster if you're consistently multitasking. I don't need the outlines to be like super deep, but I do want them to be enough where I could see them. So the BLM sign is like, it's just barely there. And then it cuts over here. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I talk to myself a lot as I paint. And I think that's just, I mean, it helps, you know, it helps you reason things through. It's kind of like that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, when you're sitting there trying to reason out like your final answer. All right, so I'm going to just kind of leave that there for right now. And I know that sign's got to fill in. And then the BLM sign here is not complete. So let's just go all the way through. I think it cuts the C off. Yeah, it sure does. And it goes all the way down there. Heart cuts off here. And then this is somebody's hand. So even the hand, I like to kind of give it some kind of an outline, just so then that way I have an idea. Like, don't paint there unless it's the color you need, you know. So Sneaky, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, homie. Sneaky Reek in the building, guys. Just donated $25, man. Sneaky, when we talked, hopefully you took some kind of value out of when we were talking, brother. Let me know if you did. You know, I really want to know feedback. But I think we had a good conversation that day. All right. So, okay, so we got a little bit more of an idea of where stuff is now. And now I'm going to jump back into the paints, okay? So all the little mess ups that I did with the black pen here, I'm not going to go over them right away. And the reason why is because they're still drying. And if I try to put white on top of them, you're just going to do a whole mishmash of like wet ink and white. So let those parts dry. And now we're going to just keep going and look for other spots that we can continue with here, okay? So for example, I could use the white here and we can just clean up here the bottom a little bit. Like this B here, I got a little bit of it. There we go. You know, we're going to start cleaning up. So let me make sure that I'm good on comments real quick. Man, I like that you guys are all involved in talking with one another. It's a lot more fun when it's interactive and you guys are actually chatting with each other too, man. So, and it's always the usual suspects that you guys are in here. Getting ready for the AM while finishing up marble oh man, you got some marble customs coming up? Is it marble or Marvel, the dye lab? That can go either way, right? It's completely two different things. But let me know, I'd love to see them. Oh, gotcha, Johnny. You use a lot of emojis, I guess, huh? He's like, bro, you need to see these emojis. You need to jump on YouTube. You cannot miss out on these emojis that I got. They're precious. All right, so let's see. Oh man, this BLM and this side is pretty detailed. It's got a bunch of paint splatters everywhere in it. Alright, so I'm going to just try to get as close as I can to it. Alright, so I got that. And then I've got it. Let's do this. I'm going to grab another so we can kind of go back and forth. I'm going to use one for my dark colors, which will be this one here. And actually, probably just need to color this in black. Looks like I missed a stencil or something over here. But things start to get a little hairy because you could see that Homeboy's hoodie is black, and then we're painting the sign black as well. So I got to pay attention to those things. And speaking of him, let's get his eyeballs right. Looks like it's a little bit more prominent there. Okay, skin tone. I got to look for his skin tone. Let's see here. I got a bowler brown. Let's see what bowler brown looks like. I think we're going to need more of a darker tone, but I'm going to add a little bit of that brown to my palette here. And again, when I add it, I'm adding it next to the black. So then that way, if I need it to be darker, I could just kind of mix the two together right next to each other. And boom, we got like another color. And it'll be somewhere in between. And if it looks too dark, then I just start to veer more towards the brown side until I get the color I want, okay? This is still very dark, so again, I'm going to just take some brown, add it into the black. And that's how you can get like skin tone colors that are varying, you know? Sometimes you'll have somebody in the light, for example, and so they'll be darker in some spots on their face. So that's kind of important to know, like getting the tones right, getting the shades right. It's just an easier way to do it for me. So I'll jump in like that. What are you guys working on, man? I know you guys are all busy out there too. I'm sure you guys got all kinds of projects going on. All right, now that I got that skin tone, I'll take a little bit of that and start using that on, for example, this guy's hand over here. Really just concentrating on more of the darker sections here. So this is a good example of what I said. You know, you might have darker sections, and this is one of them. This is shadows on his skin. So they're going to be more darker black here. And then other sections will be more brown. So I can add a little bit of brown and just add it in this section here. See? And what we want to do is kind of blend the two together. So this is the time to blend them together. You just kind of put them together now, because when you put them together now, it has the best opportunity for them to have a gradient, you know? They're both wet still. So that's what I'm doing here, okay? So I'm just kind of mixing in. If I run out of the skin tone, I could make more. It's not that difficult to make it. But the most important part is trying to get that gradient to look right. See if it looks too black, I can add brown right on top. Essentially, we want to get somewhere close. It's not going to be perfect right in the beginning, but we want to start to develop the hands and get somewhere close to his skin tone. That's important. All right. Now I've got another skin tone here. It's more of like a lighter. Let's see. So this is a Capezio Tan. Let me try this one here. It's like a grayish taupe. So I'm going to try this guy here and just kind of add that into the mix with our brown and our black. That way we've got now 3 colors that we can kind of play around with. And again, I don't add a bunch of it. I just add a drop or 2. That way you don't waste too much paint. See, that one drop is good enough for me. And then I want to look for just a slightly lighter color than the brown that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'll add a little bit of taupe, which is just almost like a good medium skin tone, I would say. So what color I'd paint me. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what it looks like. And let's drop that one in so you guys can have a look at what that looks like. So I guess now this just all of a sudden turned into a just testing to how to paint skin tones all of a sudden. Why am I not surprised? Alright, so we got different colors here. We can mix them up. That way, instead of looking like it just has 1 or 2 shades, now we can make 5, 6 different shades if we really want to. So I'll grab just a little bit of the taupe because I could see just a little bit in this section here. And I feel like I overdid it with the paint there. I added too much. So if you load too much on your brush, you can always just wipe it off, right? We've got a little bit here in this section. I think the most difficult part for me on mixing shades of skin tones is really trying to pick the right colors in the beginning, you know? If you pick the right colors in the beginning, things become a lot easier for you transition-wise. And I think that it's difficult in the beginning because it takes some skill to recognize what colors you need to use. So don't feel like, oh man, I don't know how to do it, you know? If you feel like giving up, it's just because you're new to the process. And so I've been there before, you know, so I'm telling you guys from experience that I'm sitting there like, man, I can't do this. I can't paint skin tones. I just give up. And then I'll just go take a break, and you know, I'm stubborn. So I'll come back and I'll be staring at the palette again, and I'm like, I'm going to mix the paint right, you know? And I'll just keep doing it until I get the colors that I need. So as you get more experience, you'll get better at this. You'll get better at learning which colors you need to use. So that's my encouraging words for the day. You can do it. Simple as that. You could do it. Don't give up on yourself. So many different colors here, and you know, it takes time to really get the colors to look right, and the closer you get to the colors that are actually on the picture, the more like the picture you're going to look like too, you know? So it's important you try to get accuracy on these colors. So this guy's going his hands are all the way up here. Trying to recognize where his hands cut off and stuff too, you know? About like right here is where his hand looks like it kind of cuts off. And so then that means that I've got to add more. A little bit more brown there just to get his actual hand to be noticeable. So we got it somewhere around here. Okay. So I went over a little bit. See, right here is actually somebody else in a hoodie or something. This should be black. And again, you know, if I see that it's something I messed up on, it's almost like whiting it out. I'm just looking for the black and I'm whiting it out. And so we could see the hand is more about right here. Okay, cool. Alright, y'all. Sorry, man. I know that I'm not looking at the comments here. So I'll check that right now, guys. Just want to get that fade to start to look right. Okay, it's a little bit lighter over here. All right, let me check this. Let me check the hotline real quick, see what's going on here. Moises Martinez, what's good, homie? Sorry guys, I'm just catching up, man. You guys been having a good conversation over here today. Scrawny Johnny, man, thank you again, bro. Oh, Aid raining in the building. Dilab jumped over to YouTube because of you, Scrawny. I could see that. I'm everywhere. Let's see what else we got here. How them volts coming along? Oh, okay, you're talking to the Dilab. I'm like, I'm not working on volts, bro. Hopefully I have them done by Friday. Nice. Sure if you've seen, but I marbled them. Okay, so you did do a marble to him. Dilab, you got to tag me on the marble project, man. I want to check that out. Scrawny always got something to post. About 50% of the time it's Wu-Tang related. Alright, so let's see what else we got. Scrawny got new stuff dropping. Can't wait. Yup. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, man, Patreon people, man, I hope you guys got some kind of traction when I shouted you guys out on my story. I got a lot of you guys commenting back that you either got more followers, got more likes, just got more exposure in general, which is the whole point of shouting you guys out on the story. But some of you guys even got actual custom job orders, which is amazing. I love to hear that, because that's legitimately money in your pocket. Not a follow, not a like, not a comment. You know, you got actual money in your pocket, and you got people sending you guys money for shoes. So I'm really, really excited. Man, some of your guys' projects were incredible, by the way. I mean, I'm not gonna sell myself short and say you shouldn't be on the Patreon channel, because thank you for the support. But man, some of you guys are super professional. I love you guys' work. Let's see who else we got in the building, man. Legacy Colorways in the building. What's good, Legacy? Another Patreon fam. How you living, Roger? Roger's out in Australia, man. What time is it out there? Oh man, that sounds very... I'm looking at Dilab's process of marbling, man. That sounds pretty crazy. Acrylic inks. No paint. Sick, man. Okay, cool. I think I'm pretty much caught up. I know you guys are all talking to each other. Oh, Dilab, you're definitely doing something right, homie. You don't have to worry about that. You're on the right path for sure. I mean, you're listening to the right people. You're getting the tips that you need, and you're applying them and you're executing them. So you don't have to worry about that, man. Oh, customs by Kev. He said, thanks, bro. Just kidding. I don't know what Patreon is. Patreon is a class that I actually teach, and it's like a higher level form of what we're doing today. Obviously, we're customizing shoes and we're painting here today, but on the Patreon channel, I'll show you guys like how to put like, you know, LV fabric or luxury fabrics on Air Force Ones, reconstructions on Jordan 11s. We have another video on how to do like bigger size things like duffel bags. We have one on leather chairs. So you know, it's $6 a month. It's like a cup of coffee. It supports us. It helps. It actually helps me, because then I can pay my cameraman to come over and shoot and edit and all that stuff. So all of that money is kind of absorbed in expenses by, you know, paying him. All in all, man, I just want you guys to learn more and be able to be more experienced and make more money. You know, really what it boils down to. And I'm hoping that, you know, if we get enough followers, that it'll be beneficial for me, like financially. But right now, it's just more about just teaching you guys, and for those of you on YouTube or who have been following me on Instagram, to like really just level up. So that's hopefully a good idea of what Patreon is for you, bro. Sky High, man, what is good? Sky High, where you been, dog? I haven't seen that name forever, dude. You're on in the beginning, and then you just bounced. I thought you went on vacation forever, man. How are you doing, dude? 12:30 p.m. over there. Oh, okay, cool, man. So it's like right in the beginning of the day for you. Yep, Customs by Kev. You see the marbling by following the Dilab on Instagram. That's the easiest way to see it, right? Awesome, man. I can't wait. Oh, that's crazy. Legacy, you're working on some USA customer. I love that, bro. I see you moving up, man. And you too, man. I know we've been having some conversations overall just how to grow the business. So hopefully I've been giving you some decent advice, you know. All right, guys. So I've got, appreciate you, Customs by Kev, man. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, if you do, it's you'll see the link up here. It'll be Patreon. There it is, right there. Patreon.com/feelgoodthreads to sign up. At 50 followers, which we're at 50 right now, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So if you join the giveaway tier, then you can qualify for the giveaway. You just have to be in that giveaway tier in order to get whatever it is on the giveaway. Okay. So let's keep going, man. I think that this is kind of dried up a little bit, which is good. But the fist is, I mean, you guys can see the fist is all over the place. I could see the grays and blacks and all the different colors. So let's start to now blend things in, okay? This is how I'm going to blend things in. Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about, Sky High. I'm so ecstatic to see what you just wrote. To just unplug and then to recharge is what a lot of people need nowadays, man. It's been, man, this last couple of years has been super stressful for a lot of people. So I'm really happy to see that you realized that you need to just kind of unplug from the world, man. I stopped really, like, I'm sure a lot of you guys know my Instagram got disabled and I needed to just kind of unplug. So that's why you guys haven't seen me on, because I just needed to say, you know what, I need to take some time for myself, for my health, for my sanity, and just kind of relax. And I advise that for you guys as well, even if it's just working on a custom, because I know sometimes I'll be going hard on a custom and I don't realize how long I've been straining my neck or, just putting myself through physical harm and not realizing it just to finish a custom up. So, whether it be a custom, whether it be work, whatever it is, you guys can see I just mixed up a whole blotch of stuff here. Yeah, take the time off, man. Your health is your best wealth, guys. All right, so I'm going to just start to look for this gray, kind of this grayish, in between grayish taupe. I'll just dip in. I'll test it out, see what it looks like on the corner there. And it looks a little bit like this area here, so I'm going to try to give it a little bit of that love right there. All right. Then I've got another, this is more of a harder, darker line here because of the shadow. That's his knuckles there. So I'm trying to give that knuckle, that deciphering factor, like you could see that's his knuckles, but still kind of blended in. It's a nice soft blend in. Cuts over a little bit over here. Starts to shadow in the back, which that makes sense, right? Should shadow a little bit in the back. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of the taupe, just the taupe by itself. And again, I'm going to just brush it off. Remember, we just used a darker color, so I like to just kind of brush it off here. And let's try to get this portion here to be just a little bit lighter. That's what I feel like it looks like in the color on the picture here. And that makes sense, because there's some kind of light that is coming from this angle here. All right, so now we're getting, I'm going to add just a little bit of white to this. And why am I doing that? Because we need to have some light spots here, right? So a little bit of light spot there and just around the knuckles. So watch as I just kind of graze around them. And add just a little bit of white. Just a little bit. Just in spots where it looks like there's a light shining on his hand there. You can also use like a vanilla. You can use a beige. Something along that line where you can recognize that's his finger there and that there's light that's hitting the finger. So as I run through this here, if I see like, oh, that looks a little too unnatural, like it looks like, his skin tone would not look that white, I'll dial it down a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here. There we go. And I got to start to form his fingers here a little bit. This is around like where we're going to see that. his fingers and the light hit. Cool. This takes time, guys. You know, I never make skin tones and think like, oh, it's gonna take like 5 minutes. You know, it's not a big deal. It's just a combination of different skin colors and tones. So you gotta blend, and blending takes time. At least for me, it takes time. Some of you guys might be experts out there and get this done in 5 minutes, like I just said, but that's not me. I wish that was me, man. That's just a skill. Some people have that skill, and some people need to practice. So, you know, it's just like anything else. If you've never gone to the weight room and then all of a sudden you're trying to bench press, well, you're probably not going to get the form right away. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time to learn. So as long as you're willing to try, that's the main thing. Effort takes effort, right? Alright, so I got a little bit of his other finger right here. This is going to be the hardest part of the whole project. The signs will be easy. You know, it's the fingers and trying to get the right tones and then getting clarity behind it because it's on a panel and all that stuff. So but this little paintbrush, man, it works really well for these little fine details. Alright guys, now I'm going to try to form his fingers a little bit. It'll start to help visualize for me like, oh, okay, this is where his fingers are at. Now you could start to see the hand, and that's important, right? That you're starting to see what you want to paint. One thing that I want to point out to you guys is a lot of the times when the paint is starting to feel like it's about to dry, and if you want to keep it going, you can almost like reignite it. And how you do that is you just add a little bit more paint to the brush, and then you immediately drop it back onto the spot that you want to keep going. And the reason that works is it's almost like you're like watering down that spot. You know, you're bringing it back from about to dry to wet again. All right. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of just kind of going back and forth until we get the hand right. And this line looks a little too harsh, so I'm going to just take a little bit of it off, make it look a little more natural. I'm painting around it just to thin it out a little bit. I'm the Kark! Thank you so much for following. Can you guys hear that when somebody follows? A big old ring. Like it's like an alarm clock every time it goes off. It's funny. All right, so here there's a little bit of shade. So since there's a little bit of shade, I'm going to go gray and black and then just kind of mix them both together right there. So I can get to see that color that I'm looking for. And just try to place it down. Let's try that again. Yeah, there we go. It's like right about there. Oh, I'm gonna go with Maya Duck. Maya Duck. Thank you so much for following, yo. Appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna give this a little bit of time to dry. I try not to over paint. I feel like sometimes that happens to me a lot. Here goes the fist. Where's that fist at? And so we're like right there. You can see that I've got to still extend the hand up on the top section there, and really get it to kind of have more of a clarity behind it. But I think it's a little difficult for you guys to see it. But oh wow, that's crazy. It says, congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Gist! What's good, Gist? He said the concentration of this man. I don't have a choice, man. I got to get this done. You know what I mean? I know you've been there. You had that deadline before too, right? I guess you can't spam on Twitch. What it's saying? So who wants to dance? Stop spamming emojis, and then gave you a warning, Maya. I'm not like super familiar with all that stuff. I just know that there's bots, and they don't like it. Oh, did just rate us? I don't know. Did you rate us? I love when Just comes through, man. Just is just positive energy every time this dude comes through. Oh, cool. Punky B's already following you, dog. That's good. All right. The Dialab says they were up 13 in the third. Oh, man. Are you guys talking about the game? They were up 13 in the third. I started working on these heel tabs, and when I looked up, they were down 8? Ugh, what game is that? Because I think that's a game that I was trying to watch earlier today. Oh, man. Just for kicks, bro. 19 viewers coming through with the raid. What's good? Hollis J. Bear said not enough detail. Bro, this is like nothing, man. If I could show you guys the rest of this shoe, you'll definitely see the detail, man. Yo, how do I get this? Can I get a raid alert? I'm down to get that. I mean, we got all these different other sounds on the channel, man. So I would love to hear a way that it says, or even if it just says just for kicks in the building. That's good too, man. I almost feel like you should just be the audio. Like when you come on, you're like, hey, idiot, look up. And then I'm like, oh, what's up, dog? Thanks for rating, homie. I always appreciate you rating. You know that, right? What time is it over there? Man, Just for Kicks got all the tricks and tips on Twitch, bro. He's got all kinds of stuff. Oh, Denver's up 125. Oh, man. Are you for real? Man, both teams are awesome teams, though, man. Damian Lillard was amazing the other day. I haven't seen somebody shoot like that in so long. It was crazy when I seen him shooting. It was almost like he's unfazed by the defenders. There was one where, what's his name? I think it's Michael Porter Jr. I think that was sending it to overtime, and dude just shot right over him. Michael Porter Jr. is super athletic, super long. I don't even know how he got the shot off over him, but the arch, man, that dude's arch was nuts on that shot. And when that went in, I was just like, dude, he's not gonna let them lose this series. But then you see the other squad, man. Jamal Murray and Joker are just I mean, Joker was in the running for MVP, so you know, you already know that they got a good squad with one person, but their guard Murray, man, sheesh, that guy's a beast too. Both those guys are. I mean, that's the reason why they're there, right? All right, let me get into this little sign here that I've been intimidated of doing. All kinds of crazy splatter prints coming off of this thing, man. So looking like one there. Looking like one there. There's a little circle in the middle of the two. I'm literally just going off the picture here, guys. Just kind of guesstimating where things are. And hoping that I'll be kind of close, because in that way I have to do less cleanup. But I think that was not too far off, I think. And I got just a couple of little ones here that we're gonna have to probably paint in a little detailed. But it's there. We're close. We're close. I like to see progress, right? That we're getting to the point where we need to be at. Just what were you working on, bro? 237 on Friday over there, bro. Crazy. Every time I think when you come from the future, just it's amazing. You still haven't given me no lotto numbers though, man. I told you we split it. We split it, dog, like 50-50. Dame Time is the man, dude. He's something else, man. There's a lot of amazing athletes that are in the league right now. Grail Crew, thank you for subscribing, homie. There's a lot of athletes, yo, in this league that are just tremendous players. But, man, Lillard is just at a different level, man. Like, think about him being a shooter like the way he is, and he didn't have the same squad that Steph had with, like, Durant and Draymond Green and everybody back when he was over there in Golden State. And all those players were still there. Iguodala and all these guys. That gives somebody like Steph Curry so much more room, so much more wiggle room to get free and get his shot off. Not to say that, you know, they didn't guard Steph Curry, because obviously they knew him, Klay Thompson, all these guys are shooters. But, man, Damian Lillard, who else they got on that squad besides him, really? They got the other guy. Is it McCollum? That dude could shoot too. CJ. That guy's a beast. All right, y'all. So I'm getting there. I feel like I'm getting there. All right. So now this next part here is the matter. It's highlighted in black. So let me try to. I'm gonna try my best to put that in. CJ and Carmelo. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I forgot about Carmelo, dude. Melo it's crazy how dude, just his whole career has been revived. How many people were talking smack about that dude being done? How he's a ball hog, how he's a virus to the teams. And dude came back bigger and stronger than I feel like anybody would have ever anticipated. Need a stronger ink there. That's not enough. Sometimes what happens, guys, and I'm going to warn you guys about this right now so then it doesn't happen to you. If you're painting with paint and then you end up using these guys here and you use it on wet paint, it's going to clog your pen here. And if it clogs it, it's pretty much a wrap. I haven't figured out a way to unclog it. So I'm letting you guys know that now, because these pens are pretty expensive. And I don't want you guys to be copping all these pens and then wondering, like, frustrated, like, why is it that I can only get like one use out of it? It's because you're probably painting over a spot here that is still semi-wet or wet. And so then this, for whatever reason, man, this ink pen catches the wet paint and clogs it. So that's your guys' heads up on these pens. If you guys need a link to this stuff, I know I told you guys about the Princeton brush, I told you guys about these pens. I'll send you guys a link. All you got to do is just DM me real quick on Instagram. And the Insta is Feel Good Threads, LA. Okay? So until we get our old IG back, we're going to be using that one for right now. All right, so I just kind of inked in, I think, a good majority of that. Cool. And let's ink in this dude's hand too, because I could see that should be going about right here. Up. And he's holding this sign up here. Again, guys, I like to ink things in, and then at the end you can kind of paint over the ink if you need to. But what that ink does for me here is it gives me an idea of like where this dude's fingers are, where things are placed. It just gives me a little bit of that clarity that I need. See, like the rest of his fingers are here, and so I can kind of decipher that. And I see, like, for example, his palm is a lighter color. So what I can do is just kind of paint that in now. So that was just a little bit of taupe, a little bit of white. And now I'm going to just add a complete opposite almost. This is going to be brown and black here. And let's see if I could just try my best to get those two to blend in a little bit. Every day I try to improve on my blending technique, guys. Blending's not easy. At least for me, it's not easy. But I tell you, once you get good at blending, man, your portrait work and all the things that you're trying to make look realistic look so much nicer. So much nicer. Whew. Okay, let me take a quick break here. Let me just jump in, see what you guys are talking about. CJ and Carmelo, man. Melo again is just astounding. I can't believe how dude's doing. You're trying to soak it in alcohol to unclog it. You know, I haven't tried that, Customs by Kev. What I did do was I tried acetone, and acetone didn't work. But you know what? I might try that with alcohol. But I do know that it's just usually the tip. So thanks for that advice, man. I appreciate that. I got your 6. What's good? There goes the neighborhood. How you living, man? Are you done with the kicks? The kicks? I'm not going to say for who. You know who. Oh, man. That's it, huh? Punky B? Portland's done? Oh. Yeah, I think Melo's going to come back next season, which is dope. 90% alcohol for 5 minutes and it works. Cousins by Kev, man. Thank you. Giselia, thank you as well for subscribing. I appreciate that. Dope, man. Oh, reveals tomorrow. Congratulations, man. You've been putting in the work for that. You've been definitely putting in the work for that. I've been seeing the progress every time you send the pics, man. So I know you're excited. Guys, I'm just cleaning this brush out now, okay? So in case you're wondering, like, what's dude doing? I'm going to clean it out because I've got some gray here. And we've got to add just a little bit of streaks in this first sign here. Let me show you guys the sign. Might be a little small for you guys there. All right. I got to catch this where the light's not all over the place too, right? So y'all see this BLM sign here? It's got like shadows of grays. So I'm going to add that. I'm using the light gray here. Let me just see if I could maybe hitch this up and make it a little bit easier for me. There we go. Cool. All right, y'all. Using light gray. Again, just adding a little bit of detail. Looking for the spots on here that are light gray so I can add them in. Not looking for perfection, just looking to make sure that it looks similar, you know? And don't forget I got to do a second one too, so I've got the second pair just kind of waiting on the side. Nice thing is today we could actually compare the two at the end when we're done. So y'all see how I did the gray there. I'm going to add a little bit of white. I just put some white on there, and we're going to streak this guy just a tiny bit. Just a little bit. There we go. That's what it looks like on here, guys, so that's why I'm streaking it. Again, this is the time if you guys need to do things like streaking or anything that has like a distressing or gradients, fading, anything of that nature. You want to try to do that while the paint is still wet. Because once it's dry, it's not going to be doing that same thing, right? In this case, I can see all of them are going that way, okay? So, for example, if I have gray that's here, I can see that the gray is going to streak to the left. So I'm going to try to mimic that. I'm just adding some light gray here on the side, on the edge. Just add it all here on the edge. It's all wet still. I'm looking at the picture and I'm just trying to kind of decipher where all of the streaks are going. So now I added a little bit of white on here. And what we're going to do is just kind of have them streak. Okay. If you overdo it, which I just did right now, added too much gray, then I could add a little bit of white on the brush and we could reverse it back. See? Almost going back to step one. So once you learn that method, you can kind of control how far the gradients go. All right, so that's just need maybe a little line here. Messed up in that little spot. It's okay. A little bit in the M. Something as small as adding this little gray will start to give the overall sign a little bit more dimension. It'll make it look a little bit more realistic. It's really ideally what you want, right? You want it to look like the actual sign. You got to add the right colors to it again. So we're just looking for the colors to add. And then we're transitioning them as quickly as we can because their paint's still wet. When the paint's wet, that's when we gotta act. Another thing too, you guys don't want to add too much paint. So learning how much paint to add on your brush and load the brush, that's important. You put too much paint on there in a little spot, then there's not going to be really a way to back that up, you know? You're going to have to paint all over it again and start. There we go. Alright, y'all, so let me just kind of give you an idea of what we look like after this. And then if you guys have any questions, I'm going to answer those for you guys too, okay? There we go. Again, this is just the first layer, you know. If I think that there's too much gray or, you know, too little gray, we can go back in and add a second layer. So, how many hours on this? I barely started it, man. Let me show you where we were at before. I just took the stencil off of these guys. So this is where we were, where we started off. I just put a stencil on him. Then I took off the stencil. So let's see. Is this on? This is not on the zoom too. Crazy. I wish I could move the camera up a little bit, but I don't want to get it all out of the way. Can you guys see that okay? So let's just point out some things that we worked on today. Obviously, we worked on this guy right here because you can see that he's a lot more clear than he is over here. We worked on the BLM sign here in the front. We worked on trying to get all of the signs here more clear than they were before, because here you can barely see anything. It's just really a blotch of white, you know. And worked on some skin tones, right? We started to get the guy's fist in here. We started to put in the color tones into the people's skin on the hands, and just trying to get it closer and closer to that picture there. So let's compare here. I'm gonna move this guy, but just to give you guys one last look. This is the progress we've made, and this is about what, an hour? What have we been on, an hour or two? An hour and 10 minutes, guys. So not a long time. Hasn't been a long time. It's just been, you know, really me just fooling around, talking too damn much, right? How's that look? Are we getting close? I think we're getting there. We're getting pretty close. I'm going to take a quick break. I need it. Do you guys have any questions? Time is 7:54. I think we'll probably call it a day at 8 o'clock. That's about 6 minutes. Just for Kicks, man. Again, shout out Just for Kicks. Shout out the Patreon family. Thank you guys again for joining, man. You guys are the reason I do all this. I mean, I could just be doing this at the house and probably knock this out super fast, but I want to make sure that, you know, you guys are helping support. So I want to make sure that we are continually doing these streams as much as we can. Forgive me for not being on for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I had to finish both of these shoes in a timely manner, and like, there's no way that I can teach the whole process on this pair of kicks. I've been working on this pair for weeks, like legitimately for weeks, and I think when you guys have an opportunity to see why, Barney of the Rebel, thank you so much for following, man. I appreciate it. When you guys see the finished product, I think you guys will see why it took so long. But for right now, I just got to keep it at, you know, it's been a process, man. So Just for Kicks, if you're asking how many hours this took, this barely took any time. If you're asking me how long did the overall project take, I gotta, you know, it's a BLM project, man. I gotta put my all into it and make sure that it looks, you know, the part. It's a very important message, so I don't want to come off as I worked on this half-ass. It needs to be given my full attention. You know what I mean? And I think that I've put my heart into it, so I hope that it's impactful when it's all done. Now I'm just gonna go back in here. I know that there's, you know, some small streaks of white here, so I'm gonna try to put those in. They're pretty thin, so I gotta really concentrate on from one edge to the other. But yeah, working on signs like this will take a while too, you know, for me. So if you ever feel discouraged or frustrated on how long something like this would take you, if you're trying it for the first time and you're like, dude, this is taking forever, that's the process. You know, you're creating something from scratch, so of course it's going to take a long time. Even just to literally look back and forth at the same picture over and over, and to try to get the right dimensions and get the exact look, you know, you have to realize that there's time that's involved. I think a lot of people who aren't artists don't understand that. They just see the end product and they're like, yo, you know, that looks great. And they don't realize, it does look great, but it also took me so and so hours to do it, you know. And I told myself, well, this is one of the last pictures. I can kind of skimp a little bit, but I already know, like, at the end of the day, when this is done, I'm going to probably put in maximum effort on this sign too. And then I have to replicate it to look just like it on the other shoe, which is like, that's the hard part, man, is trying to get this thing to look exactly like one another on both shoes. I'm lucky because on this part here, it doesn't have an extreme amount of detail like a face that I need to really concentrate on. It's more general of a picture, so it gives me an opportunity to, it doesn't need to be exact here. But when you get, for example, if it's a person's face, and if it's their shoe, like you're making a shoe for them, and it's their face, you don't have no choice but to get that right? Otherwise, I'm like, why you got this random person on my shoe? Oh, no, that's you, dude. Don't look like me. That don't look like me. That's not what you want to hear, right? Little fade there. Dope. Oh man, the Dye Lab, anytime, brother. I'm blessed to work with you guys, and I'm really happy to see that you guys are learning, overall. Wait till you guys see the next couple of Patreon videos. It's going to be completely different than everything that you guys have learned on YouTube. I promise you that. That's on me, dude, because I've been trying to think like, how can we put up some tutorials that you guys haven't seen, because there's so many things that have already been taken. So I think the next couple of tutorials will be pretty dope, outside the box. So, oh man, dude, Grail Crew just started working on a pair with 4 different portraits, so I feel your pain. Dude, that's a lot of portraits, Grail Crew. How long have you been customizing, man? You got to be pretty experienced, I think, to take on projects like that, because I think, at least for me, this is my weakness, is working on portraits. Portraits not easy, man. Portraits are one of the most difficult things for me as an artist, and I think I would have been a lot better had I had like gone to school, or had I been, practicing, even just practicing drawing with pencil and paper, because then you can get a feel for dimensions on a person's face, angles, color tones, stuff like that. Those are all things I've never done. So, yeah, if you've never done this stuff before, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than doing a color swap on your shoes, or, dyeing something suede. It's a different animal. So just kind of giving you guys a heads up. If you have not done this, don't feel frustrated. The whole point of doing it is trying in the beginning and then continuing and getting better and better every time, But you'll never get better unless you practice. Let's see, we got that one's already done. Cool. Just adding a couple of little smaller pieces that I missed. And then I see that I gotta just finish coloring that in a little bit. Cool. Alright, y'all, time is 8:01. Anybody have any questions before I let y'all go? Let me know now, or forever hold your peace. Or until the next stream. That is where we got to today, and I would say that's not bad. We didn't do too bad. We got some cleaning. We definitely have cleaning up to do. But that is just part of the process, Customizing proper. Okay, I could already tell you're either from New Zealand or not from the United States, because he said proper. That's definitely more a European term. Customizing proper for customers probably about 3 years, but always been painting or drawing. Okay, so you've had this love for this already, huh? I used to done any art classes since 9th grade. That's about 20 years ago now. Oh, that's a long time. It's always been trial and error. Same here, man. I'll DM you some progress pics. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'd love. Oh, I haven't. He said, okay. Don't forget winner of Ace Customs. Oh, dang! You were winner of Ace Customs? Yo, that's great, man. I know Will. Will was part of Ace Customs. I think he was the dude who was actually he was doing all of Ace Customs. He was the one who was kind of holding all of this, the contests and stuff. I kind of missed Ace of Customs. That was a great little thing that they had going on, and then all of a sudden it just kind of fell off. and I don't know if they just stopped doing it at sneaker. I think it was at SneakerCon is where they were doing it, but it was really exciting to see different customizers and artists from all over the world. So congrats, man! I could tell that you know what you're doing then. Yeah, it's been a while, I'm sure, because I haven't seen an Ace of Customs for a while. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys again so much for joining us on this tutorial. I'm going to continue this. I gotta finish these up. I plan on hopefully getting back into the swing of things next week. You guys got to give me just a couple of days to knock this out. But the next couple of tutorials that I have lined up for you guys are great. One of them is with these guys over here. Let me show you guys these paints I got. So these guys here, I'm actually really excited to use them. And I know I've been telling you guys that I'm going to be using them soon. But Alpha Flex by Alpha 6 Corporation. If you guys haven't followed them yet, I've never heard of them before, and apparently everybody in the world knows about them. So thanks a lot for filling me in, guys. I really appreciate you guys for filling me in. But they sent me these paints. I'm really excited to try them out and give you guys my feedback on them. So far, the people who haven't been telling me about, they've been using this paint for like, I don't know how long, have told me it's an amazing paint. They also have dyes. I didn't know that they had dyes. They also have the like the adhesion promoters like GAC 200 that mixes right in with the paint. So I'm excited to see what these guys are capable of doing with their paint products. And they're in really cool like snap, top kind of bottles, which is cool. I like that a lot. So we're going to be testing that out. The other thing is I got another I have a Wu-Tang custom that's coming up. So we'll be working with a pair of dunks. Some Wu-Tang dunks is what we're going to make. Kind of something different for you guys. So I'm excited to check that out. So yeah, if you guys haven't followed me yet, man, all of our social medias are up here. At Feel Good Threads is pretty much all of the social medias except for right now, temporarily, Instagram is at Feel Good Threads LA. So if you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram. We're rebuilding that page up. Tried to order some, but they don't ship over here. Man, I feel like Australia and Europe, bro, you guys get the short end of the stick every time, man. Like, there's so many different products that people are not willing to send over internationally. So I'm sorry to hear that, Oh, there's one in New Zealand, Grill Crew. I don't know if that. Oh, there you go. He said, "Hook me up." There you go. See, that was the whole point of me being here today, was connecting you two together to get this Alpha 6 paint. Nah, I'm playing. I'm messing with you, man. But anyways, guys, thank you guys again for being on. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see you guys very soon. Shout out to Sneaky Ricky Customs. Sneaky Ricky, was that you, Sneaky? I believe you donated today, right? I'm almost positive it was Sneaky Ricky, man. But thank you so much for donating, man. All the proceeds just go back into making these streams better. And we're planning on adding some more things to the stream. We've got some giveaways coming up. Where did they go? They're around here somewhere. Anyways, I got some stuff to give you guys. I'll keep it a secret for right now. If you guys subscribe, you guys will know when we're going to be on, and we do surprise giveaways. So we're just going to do it as a surprise giveaway. Shout out the homie GTC Reels. Yo, Suhail, what's good? Was that you who DM'd me on IG or fake? Graham, if it was Feel Good Threads LA, then it was me. We are having some kind of a technical difficulty with Instagram. They disabled the account, so I just started a new account up. So if it was under Feel Good Threads LA, then it was me for sure. Okay? Oh man, Legacy can't get it there either. So I mean, you got your work cut out for you. This is all you, bro. You're the one who said it's available in New Zealand. I got a supplier. Now you got to connect everybody. Yeah, Graham, that was me. Yeah, man. But yeah, I don't even remember what we talked about or why I DM'd you. But it's been a minute since I've been on, so I'll be back on. We might even be back on Saturday if I can knock these out today. Cool? All right, y'all. Thank you again for being on. I'll see y'all very soon. Love you guys. Thank you guys again for the support. And we'll catch you soon. I'm out of here. Peace.